Hi, if you like the video, please remember to subscribe. Hi, I'm Rob from robnonphoto.com, and in today's beginner's video, introduction guide, well, call it what you will, I'm going to be talking about these babies. A battery grip for your DSLR and why you should have one, even if you don't actually use it that often. So, DSLRs, we love them. And they run off these rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. The problem is, as these get older and they get replaced by another model, seems like probably about every 6 months, doesn't it? The cameras don't keep using the same ones as these. So eventually, the camera manufacturers kind of will stop making lithium-ion batteries for your particular model, or they'll be prohibitively expensive and unreliable. And this is why you should always invest in a battery grip for your DSLR, even if you don't use it. Because when you buy a battery grip, they come with two compartments normally. Oops. Just knocked over the tripod for the audio. Sorry about that. A normal one, which basically you'd put two lithium-ion batteries in, and also one that runs off AAs. And we're pretty sure that AA batteries, they're going to be around for an awful long time. So instead of using your lithium ions, you can slot one of these babies in. Oops, I said to put it in properly. And then you've got a DSLR powered not by lithium-ion batteries that could become obsolete and disappear, but AA batteries, which you could use rechargeables, and then you could use normal sort of alkalines if you wanted as well. So the other beauty then is because you've got access to AAs. If you're out on a shoot somewhere where you didn't have access to a charger, but maybe you had access where you could buy AAs. Maybe you'd left your charger at home or something. If you've got a battery grip that can take AAs, then you're ready to go. I mean, the other main reason for having a battery grip is the fact that you can fit two normal lithium-ion batteries in, or in this case, in this one, you can fit 8 AA batteries in. So it gives you a lot longer time for shooting. That's why people like professional photographers often use battery grips, because it means that they can shoot for a lot longer. In between having to change the battery out. And in some cameras, if you use a battery grip, it can increase the frames per second that you get out of it. Okay, so you can see the camera grip on my old Canon DSLR here. And another reason why you would want to use a battery grip, another couple of reasons actually, is the fact that when you're shooting normally with your camera, click, 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 and then you go into portrait mode, your arms can go a little bit squiggly. But if you've got a battery grip, you've got a fantastic big grip, funnily enough, to hold on to. And what you can probably notice here is I've now got a shutter button here, so I can fire my camera using that button. And also on the back, I've got lots of other controls as well. So I've got exposure compensation, I can choose my AF point, and there's exposure lock as well, all on the back there. And that can really help if you do basically a lot of shooting in your portrait orientation. Imagine if the camera's on a tripod. You've got the buttons all there instead of basically having to stand there. Imagine having to, if you're in a studio, maybe doing a catalogue shoot or something, where you're just trying to shoot like this all day. Your arm's going to start flippity flopping all over the place. Whereas if you've got a nice battery grip like that. Also with guys, or girls with big hands, you've got this other big thing to hold on to. So there we go, battery grips. It's funny, I would say a battery grip for your DSLR, if you're going to be keeping your DSLR for a long time, or you think you might be in those situations where you're going to need to use it for a long time in between being able to change your batteries over, a battery grip is pretty essential. Now, I don't shoot with a battery grip every day, because they make the camera a little bit big to fit in my favourite camera bag. And I don't mind, the type of shooting I do, which is basically amateur wandering around taking photographs, it doesn't matter if I've got to stop and change batteries, but I still have grips because I want a grip for this DSLR, because I want to keep this DSLR, this 350D in this case, Rebel XT, for a long time. I want to give it to Oliver, my son. I want him to be able to enjoy it. I might even convert it to an infrared camera at some point in the future. And I know that these little lithium-ion batteries are either going to be stopped being made or they're going to become prohibitively expensive. Whereas AA batteries are going to be around for an awful long time. And so I've got my battery grip ready to fight that obsolescence of the OEM lithium ions. So there we go. Hopefully I've convinced you to invest in a battery grip for your camera. Now, as far as which ones to buy, for ultimate reliability and compatibility, obviously buy the Canon one or the Nikon one or the Sony one for your particular camera. If you're not particularly bothered about that, get a non-branded one. This one is an Optique one, I think, and it's fine. One of the things I have noticed, though, is that sometimes the controls don't work on the back. However, and I think this probably goes for all battery grips, just because you've got a battery grip attached and it's powering your camera doesn't mean you've got to use the controls. You can still just carry on using the controls at the top, and that's what I do with this particular one because it kind of suits the way I shoot. So there we go. Camera battery grips with DSLR, an essential purchase if you're planning on keeping your DSLR for a long time and not getting trapped by obsolete batteries. My name's Rob from robnonphoto.com. If you like, please subscribe, put some comments down below, and thanks for watching.